Okay. First, I have a public service announcement for anyone who lives in the city of Chicago or is thinking of visiting here. Do not eat at the Heartland Cafe, ever. Um, okay. So this week's topic is for marriage. So I think last week is the only week that you're gonna get me and Camden agreeing on anything. So this should be an interesting conversation. So what do you think about marriage in general?
I don't know. I don't have very strong opinions on this topic, so I don't know. I don't think that it's necessary, but if people like it, then they should do it.
I talked about this in a couple of my other videos, but like the kids topic, weddings and marriages make me uncomfortable. And I've been to a lot of weddings recently, and I have a lot more planned. And I don't know what it is about them, but I think it's just like the whole, like, everything has, like, it's so traditional, and there's like everybody has to follow these certain rules and codes of behavior, and usually there's like family issues involved, and that never makes for a good time. So that being said, I don't think I will ever get married. I don't want to get married. I don't want to have a wedding. And Mason was talking about, like, oh, he wants to be the center of attention, which I know Mason. And I think maybe that's part of it. Like, I don't want everybody, like, examining my relationship and in such a, like, public way. And I generally don't like to be the center of attention, although a lot of people might think that I do. So I don't know. I don't think marriage is for me. I mean, you know, the tax benefits and kind of all of that goes along with it is nice, but I feel like we should have something that is not a marriage that would give people those same benefits, or just make them not associated with a partnership. Like, I don't understand why. I probably should have done my research, but I don't know why that came about or happened in the first place. But
Yeah, I mean, I just think that those are stupid. You make a certain amount, you should be taxed on the amount you
yeah. Do you want to get married?
I just want to have a fun party and get presents from other people.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. But again, like, the whole gift registry thing just seems so, like, narcissistic or selfish or something to me. Like, just going to a store and picking out all the things that you want other people to buy you, and then people buy the things that are on your list and you, like, act surprised. How do you feel about the recent decisions for marriage equality in Iowa, Vermont, and upcoming in New York?
I mean, I think that it's great, I guess, and, it gives people something to talk about that, that puts it on their radar, but I don't think that it's, the catalyst for change and massive change across the country in the gay community.
Yeah, I think, like, the marriage issue is, like, the one talking point that people have right now to move gay rights forward. Meanwhile, keep in mind, this is very gay-centric, and not necessarily LGBTQI, which I have a problem with. But, when Iowa passed their decision to legalize same-sex marriage, it kind of ignited this whole conversation in Illinois about, the Midwest, it's so conservative, and it's, the workers, and we never thought that would happen in the Midwest. And, I don't know how I feel about that. Living in Chicago, we're kind of a little bit far removed from the Midwest stereotypical culture, but there have been conversations in Illinois and in Chicago about legalizing same-sex civil unions, I think, but not same-sex marriage. What did you think about the Miss USA contestant and her answer about same-sex marriage?
I don't know that I was ever looking to Miss USA to be the progressive voice of the country, and so I'm not quite sure why everybody's in such an uproar about it. I would think that you'd be hard pressed to find somebody who competes in these pageants who doesn't feel that same way. So, you know, I mean, I would be more interested to talk about, you know, why the Miss USA pageant even still exists, rather than what this, you know, random lady thinks about gay marriage.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion about it. Like Camden said, first of all, I didn't watch it. I still haven't seen her actual answer other than what other people have said about it. But beauty pageants aren't my deal. Do you think that same-sex marriage is different than civil unions? Why or why not?
Legally, they are different, but do I think or care that they are actually different? If they were in legal terms equal, no, I don't care what the word is that's used for it. And I mean, you know, what Mason was saying about people being able to know that you got a civil union instead of a marriage or whatever is, you know, is an interesting point. But I don't know. I think that it depends on, you know, the circles that you run in, and because, I mean, I don't think that marriage is as important as people think that it is, because, I don't know, I don't talk about it that much. My parents don't talk about their coworkers being married or not married that much. I don't feel like it's an important thing in anyone's, in my small circles world, so I'm not quite sure that, you know, I think it depends on who you're around, whether it matters or not.
Well, and that's interesting because I guess my experience has been different. In the workplace specifically, I am younger than all of my colleagues, and whenever we talk about our partners or, you know, whatever we did on the weekend, people talk about their husband or fiance or whatever, and, you know, Camden and I have been together for 5 years. That's a long time. That's longer than a lot of people are married for. But when I say my boyfriend or mention the fact that we're moving or moving in together, there's definitely a difference in how you're perceived. And so I do think that there's some language issues there. So when you are married versus have a civil union, I don't think we've developed the language yet to talk about like what a civil union really means culturally. But I do think that there should be civil unions for everybody, and marriage should be a church thing, which is what it originated as. And so the benefits and the, you know, legal protections that go along with marriage should be extended to civil unions. And they should be available to anybody to have. Anybody that doesn't want to get married in a church should just have a civil union, and that should be the end of it. But like I said, we don't have the language yet to really talk about what having a civil union means. And so to what Mason was saying, there definitely is a difference between people that are married and people that might have civil unions now.
You know, people are getting rights for something as arbitrary as, like, you finding someone that you want to spend a lot of your life with, then, like, that's really, really stupid and shouldn't be, you know, like, I don't think that should be a thing that people get extra rights for. Like, you shouldn't get special privileges for that. That doesn't make any sense, because then people's access to that isn't equal even before gay people are involved in it.
Yeah, I agree, but I think that's not something that's ever going to change.
Well, though people will say the same thing about gay people getting married.
Yeah, but I think it has to be progressive.
Well, everything has the possibility to change.
Yeah, like, hopefully these videos will be going up earlier. We'll work on that. I think that's all I have about marriage. You know, neither one of us are really thrilling speakers on this topic, so I think next week should be a little bit more exciting. Maybe. We haven't decided on the topic yet, but I think it's going to be fun. Okay, so have a good week, everybody, and I will see you next Sunday.